Welcome to Popcorn Planet. I am Andy Signore, and it was almost exactly 2 years ago today when we first started covering the Joss Whedon, Ray Fisher, Zack Snyder, Warner Brothers drama. And if you go back and watch my first video, which I just went and did, I was Team Ray Fisher in the beginning. But as the case unfolded, something just didn't feel right. And I like to follow the truth, not just hearsay. And hearsay was all that Ray Fisher was giving us. And it felt very clear as Jody's Corner and I, Lewis over at Nerd Report, we were covering this. As soon as we started asking questions about the case, Zack Snyder's fan base came at us like out of nowhere, just pummeling us. We had to fight back. We were a few people who were willing to fight back against this fandom. I would say the worst fandom I'd ever engaged in my entire career through ScreenJunkies anywhere. There was a lot of good people, regular people in the Zack Snyder fan base, of course, but there was a nasty side to it that I hadn't seen anywhere else, and no one was pushing against it. Now, no one in the fandom accepted or said, hey guys, this is too much, stop. And Zack himself seemed to almost revel in it. Jody and I started talking more. Jody had his own contacts through Warner Brothers. I did as well. We started getting sources, and then we started calling out some of the things that Ray was his evidence. We're like, well, what is this? This isn't a crime. Ray Fisher wanted to literally fire everyone at Warner Brothers, and I was like, well, for what? And as the more and more we unfolded, it became clear Ray wasn't being genuine himself either. There was just nothing. It was, I heard from this person, and they were doing this, and they were because I heard this, and they said I'd never work again because I wanted to have more scenes in the movie. It was insane what actually Ray was accusing. I'm still confused as to what actually Ray was actually accusing them of. He still hasn't even said. So we pushed back, and when we pushed back, we got a lot of heat for it. And Ray Fisher himself came at me and Jody's Corner and actually defamed us on Twitter, saying terrible stuff about us. And at that point, it was like, all right, game on. We knew this guy's not about the truth. This guy just wants the echo chamber and his fan base, the Borg Life hashtag that he started, to just go after anybody who challenged them. That's actually what happened. Anybody can rewrite the history however they want, but this was an online army that was activated by its general, Zack Snyder, the filmmaker, and then his lieutenant was actor Ray Fisher, who basically we always suspected was getting sort of the information from up top and then angling his wrath after Black Lives Matter to just sort of be like, enough, I'm calling it all out. I'm going to be the most important actor ever. All this was happening, and we covered it in depth, and I'll put this playlist if you want to go back and watch how it all unfolded. You can go back and check it out. Anyway, we reported this for a while. Eventually, we moved on to other topics. I tried to move on, and there was a point I even gave up just because I didn't want to deal with this army. Jody kept fighting. It was just too much for me. But then the movie came out. Everything sort of happened. But then, we never really had any closure in all this. Well, until today. Until today. And my, how we've all come full circle. Whew! All right, there's a lot to break down this piece, and I know long-term viewers of mine are going to want me to really break down and take a victory lap as Rolling Stone has uncovered and spoken and come up with some pretty damn evidence to damn Zack Snyder, not only in him seemingly using bots to really fuel this. Look, the article admits there's a lot of real people in the Zack Snyder fan base. They do, multiple times. Zack Snyder fans are already trying to spin this saying, oh, they're saying we're all fake. No, they're saying a majority, there was a higher majority than usual, like a higher percentage rather than usual that were armed with it. And then they went back and figured out who was leading that. And they asked some really good questions, is who was funding some of it, which Zack Snyder fans still refuse to sort of acknowledge. There was clearly ringleaders behind this whole campaign. And worst of all, there was a hate campaign and just an ego and a hubris to it all that Jody and I knew from day one that this was something was bad. And Jody had his own intel, and I implore you, Jody's going to be reacting. And then, yes, Jody is going to join me live today at 2 p.m. because we're going to go in depth, in detail on this piece to really break it all down. Now, I wanted to give you sort of a top-line overview of things, and I wanted to give you a comparison because you got to remember, for those of you who are like, who cares, Andy? I don't know what this is the man who hired that woman, Amber, as Mera. This is that man. Now, I'm speculating here. I know I'm speculating here. I'm taking a little bit of a leap. But, man, after reading this article, and I want to share a little part of this. Zack Snyder was becoming increasingly agitated. Over the course of several weeks in the spring, the director repeatedly demanded the names of two producers, Jeff Johns and John Berg, to be removed from his upcoming recut of Justice League. He would check. His agent, high-powered CA agent, was calling Warner Brothers daily to check on why the pair hadn't been excised from the list of credits. Snyder's wife, Deborah, started pressing an executive in the story department with the same directive. Snyder admits the couple asked the studio to intervene after a personal plea to Johns and Berg was ignored. They're admitting this. On June 26, Snyder had enough. According to multiple sources familiar with the matter, Snyder confronted an executive in the studio's post-production department and issued a threat. Jeff and John are dragging their feet on taking their names off my cut. Now I will destroy them on social media. Woo-hoo. Now, fans are just like, oh no, he didn't say it. He didn't say it. But somehow, everything Ray Fisher has filled your heads with, that's all fact without evidence. That's all fact. But our hero, Zack Snyder, no way he could have said this. I mean, come on. It makes total sense. This makes total sense. He had all this army. It fueled his brain. He was like, I'm going to destroy this Warner Brothers. And look, I'm going to say, to be fair, what Warner Brothers did to Zack, I feel like there were a lot of things Warner Brothers did to Zack that wasn't right. I have every understanding why Zack was upset with them. They took the film from him. They wanted to recut it all. And then his daughter, it was tragic what happened to his daughter. And it was just a mess for so many involved, and such a tragic point for Zack's life. I can imagine how tough this phase of his career was. But do I believe he said something like that? Absolutely. It makes total sense given all the other information, sources I've spoken to, and everything else. Totally buy this. Jody, who we'll talk about on his channel as well, spoke to one of Zack's friends in confidence because he thought he was a Zack supporter, and revealed this Clay Enos guy, and admitted this. And I'm going to bring Jody on to elaborate, or you can go to Jody's Corner. In fact, I think he's, I want to plug him too, because you guys should. Yeah, he's going to be live at 12 to share his thoughts. And then he'll be jumping over to ours at 2. We'll join together. But man, the reason I want to share all this is because I will destroy them on social media. He then, there's a lot of implications and stuff going on about how Zack threatened this movement and the hashtag army to get what he wanted. Some really damning stuff in here. There was another thing, like the fans went after Adam Wingard, who directed Godzilla vs. Kong. And apparently the director was like really frustrated, and the article talks about how he privately reached out to Zack through an intermediary, and Zack was like, no. Zack refused to do anything to shut all this down. And they then, two firms confirm that an inauthentic activity coming from the Snyderverse community. They basically confirm a ton of this was fake. They also break down that it was run by, or at least the site was registered by, a person who now ran a defunct ad agency promoting the ability to bring cheap instant avatar traffic to your website. Sources claim Zack was like a Lex Luthor wreaking havoc. There's so much to break down that I can't do it in this full piece. We're going to do it today live and break down the whole juicy details with Jody, because I figured that'd be more fun together. But I ask you, as this man did this 2 years ago, this is the man that cast Amber as Mera. Mera, who's now out there. I'm going to call her Mera from now on. Mera, who's now out there, with her PR people who are working for her information PR campaign is now working for free, talking about all the bots that are coming after her. The bots that are coming after her. Our latest report, her supporters were subjected to rampant, targeted, blah, blah, blah. Meanwhile, I can't even show this on screen too long. Here are all the Amber bots and people saying awful things. Here are Amber bots creating accounts and admitting it on social media. Here are my 9 Amber accounts. Here's my 8 Amber accounts. What are we going to do? All this stuff is proven that Amber's bots and people were more. And here, I want to say something else to prove how toxic this fan base is. Let's look at how Ray Fisher, the actor, responded. Now, we'll go into more detail with Jody later live, but here's how Ray Fisher, the actor, who's mentioned in the piece as someone who literally, every time he targeted one of the execs, Rolling Stone reveals what was happening behind the scenes to Zack and why he was upset with those execs. And every time he was threatening or upset with those execs, guess who, like clockwork, popped up on Twitter to destroy them? His buddy Ray Fisher. Ray Fisher was just his pawn. He was moving that pawn around or whatever he wanted because Ray Fisher owed Zack. He had no other job. I don't know why he lost his whole career now, I feel like, because he leaned into Zack. Good luck, buddy. Getting more jobs in Hollywood, given all that you did to that studio. Insanity. Insanity what this guy did. But here's his response. Tags the... all right, hold on. Sorry. There's a new one. One exclusive. Waning reporter Tatiana fails to overshadow digital release of Zack Snyder's Justice League with contrived hit piece. Warner Brothers mourns. Sources say reporter still butthurt after being called out on her lies in 2021. So here's the guy in an article that's talking about a rabid fan base that is they're using to be their attack dogs. Tags her to attack her yet again and just call her nonsense. He's literally proving what the article says in this disgusting tweet. It's disgusting, his tactics. And I didn't ever read this. Rolling Stone need to amend this article immediately. Neither myself nor anyone on my team ever declined to comment to Rolling Stone. Furthermore, this type of rumor mill reporting is offensive, dangerous, and willfully evasive fact. One could say the same thing about your allegations, Ray Yay Fisher. The rumor mill reporting. The article also reveals that the whole investigation revealed nothing. They went and talked to everybody, and they reveal more that, yeah, all the accusations, there's no basis of foundation for any of it. No one stepped up to say anything except for you, saying you heard it from somebody, and then nobody came forward to actually confirm it. So where's the evidence, Ray? Yet here you are still tagging and going after this reporter for blood, is what it's like what they're doing. Now, who is this reporter? Who's this reporter? It's important I do add this before we wrap up and we'll talk longer. This is Tatiana Siegel. Now, I have an issue with her. And at full disclosure, I have an issue with her. And we'll talk more too. I have an issue with her because she wrote this. She wrote this. And it's hard for me to trust her because she wrote this. Now, she wrote this at The Hollywood Reporter. Okay? She wrote this at The Hollywood Reporter, and this article is awful, filled with bullshit. And I've been personally trying to reach out to her to understand because she did at least come around. She has since then, now that she works for Rolling Stone, she did another article, which wasn't my favorite article. She did dox a couple people, etc. But our Johnny and Amber Stands Real, if you read the article, she confirms that Depp's online fan base is overwhelmingly real. And then goes on to proceed. Granted, I wish she would have taken a little bit more headway with it, but as you scroll down, there's fake 5%, which is regular, compared to Amber's 10% of bots. Basically acknowledging that Amber had more bots, which we always have known. Multiple reports have proven this. Those bots appeared to be deployed by uninterested third parties looking to promote a product by glooming on the hot topic. Yes, so they say. That's just one way to sort of hide it. But anyway, she acknowledged that there was more, and then even more so acknowledged that Amber heard Elon in a multi-million-dollar deal, ACLU. She started to uncover the cozy ties to Amber and all that. So look, do I believe she's a Johnny fan? No. She clearly is not, but I got to give her some more props of recent because she has stepped up and reported some more truths on the case in general. So look, I take that as you will with this piece, but I feel like she did a very good job explaining herself and dropping in evidence that it's like, regardless of my feelings on the reporter, I do think there's a lot of good reporting in this piece. And it's very damning towards Zack. And the Snyder Army does not want you to read this article. So we're going to read it again later. I'm going to tweet the article myself later. You can go to Rolling Stone, read the article yourself. This is a damning piece. And I ask you, do you think Amber got some tips from Mr. Zack Snyder? Is that where this all started? Because honestly, I do start looking at this man more like Lex Luthor. This guy wanted to wreak havoc. And it was disgusting what he did. There's so much more I could go on. I could go on for hours, and we probably will. There's so much this man and this fandom did, and he never wanted to stop it. Instead, he reveled in it. He was proud of it. And then he'd always be like, well, oh my gosh, they raise money for charity. They also raise money for charity. That doesn't excuse the bad behavior. And I can't think of any other fandom. No, I still can't. Star Wars, they've all had bad moments. But to know that there was one clear ringleader who could have calmed it down, and he chose not to. He chose every step of the way he would ignore it, and he wanted those people to be wreaking havoc. He enjoyed it. It was sickening the levels that he did. And so what surprised me at all to see that the man who not only cast Mera, but brought him back after all the accusations were proven false, brought him back for the Snyder Cut to just shove her in there. They are friends, clearly. And I think that, again, speculation warning, take it with a grain of salt, but I don't know. Where do you think? I think this is where a lot of it came from. Amber probably knows Ray. Amber probably knows Zack. And my goodness, that's why a lot of these PR tactics and bot campaigns and things are happening, because I would not be surprised if it all stemmed here at the beginning of this. So if you want to learn more about what this is and learn about all the information, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that bell for alerts, and join us for our live, which I'll put a link here at the end of this video. Join us for our live today because it's going to be a doozy. Really excited to break this down with Jody. I'll put it there on the left. Go click set a reminder. Join us live around 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We will be covering this in much more depth here on Popcorn Planet. Let us know your thoughts in the comments down below. Thanks, everybody.